Dear travellers, and welcome. I'm excited to introduce to you today's camera. It's the exquisite Panasonic LC5. And if you know Panasonic, then you might know that the L stands for Lumix. And Lumix is to Panasonic the same as Lexus is to Toyota. The LC5 was released in 2002. It's a 4 megapixel CCD sensor camera with a max 400 ISO, focal length of 33mm to 100mm, with a max aperture being f2 at the wide end and a 2.5 at the zoom end. I see I have your attention. Max shutter speed of 1000th of a second, hot shoe, top screen, flash, macro mode, and manual settings. And sports a metal body. Oh, and did I mention it has a Leica lens? That's it guys, I'm officially a Leica owner. I'm in a very select and elite group. I see the world differently now. But before I throw all my other cameras into a trash can fire and order a Leica neck strap, let's dig a little deeper. So originally I found a Leica Digilux 1 that I wanted purely for the amazing condition it was in, and it's probably the cheapest Leica on the market. But the guy wanted 400 clams for it. That doesn't fly with me. So I did some research and discovered that the Digilux 1 is the same camera as the Panasonic DMC LC5. Like exactly the same camera. And I happened to see one for sale for around the same price as a 4-pack Gillette Fusion 5 razors. I couldn't go wrong. But honestly guys, this camera feels premium. Even though it's almost 20 years old, it still feels great in the hand. And all the dials and switches have a great tactile response. The front focusing ring is as smooth as butter and solid as a rock. When I hold it in my hands, I get the sense that I'm using a very high quality piece of kit. And this makes me want to use it more. And I guess this reflects in its original sale price on release of a whopping $2,000 AU. Digging around some forums, I noticed this camera had very mixed reviews. People either loved it or hated it. There was a lot of talk about the images having a posterized look to them. What is posterization, you ask? Well, posterization occurs when an image's apparent bit depth has been decreased so much that it has a visual impact. The term posterization is used because it can influence your photo similar to how the colors may look in a mass production poster, where the printer process uses a limited number of color inks. Here's a sample of what I'm talking about. If you look at the image on the right, you'll see in the sky there's a lack of detail and color. As you could imagine, this isn't something you want in your images. So I couldn't wait to try this camera out to see what the images look like. Searching the never-ending abyss of forums, I found out that there's some tips to get better image quality. Firstly, when setting the image size, it was recommended not to use the largest setting, but to scale down the image size to 1600s. Also to turn down the contrast and touch it up in post. And of course, keep the ISO to as low as possible. I did this in general with most of my old digicams, so it came as no big surprise. Well, no doubt you'd like to see some images from this camera, so let's do that now. I also read somewhere that this posterization issue was only a problem when it came to viewing the photos. However, printing the images would give a better result. So let's put that to the test. So these are 3 shots I decided to get printed to give an overall assessment of the camera. Of course, this isn't a scientific experiment, but please note all images are JPEGs that are straight out of the camera. I got them printed at my local print shop. The guy there is very passionate about printing and remarked that with a little editing the images could be blown up much larger. The first shot is a bit of a macro shot and the water drops came out sharp and clear. The next shot was testing the exposure latitude a little. It has punchy colours, but close up it is a little blotchy, but nothing that can't be fixed in post. And this last shot is at very low light. You can definitely see some noise and posterization, but overall I'm impressed with the clarity of the detail in the image. And again, a little editing and this would look great. So I guess that's all there is. Or is it? Apparently, on a lost forums thread, there's a mention of a firmware update that improves the image quality and takes this camera to the next level. However, browsing the Panasonic website, they have denied its existence. Why? Is it because they knew that this camera may have been so good that it could have crippled the future market of the camera industry? If any of you guys are versed in finding lost firmware updates on the web, please let me know. So, that's it for today. Oh, wait, what's G2 doing here? An Olympus C5060? What's going on, guys? Oh no, this looks like a shootout. Stay tuned and I'll catch you on the next one.